And we're back. Welcome back to the Auto Authorities podcast. My name is Jay and Gerald coming to you live. We have an amazing show for you today. You've been hearing all this talk about the market's going up, the market's going down. You can't get new cars, can't get used cars. And not only are we going to explain to you what the truth is, but we're going to show you how to find the best deals out there. Are you ready to do this, Gerald?
Sure, let's go.
Let's go.
Have you ever felt like you were taken for a ride while buying, selling, or repairing your car? Well, not anymore. I'm Jay, and this is the podcast to tell you what to watch out for, whether you are buying, selling, or repairing your car. With over 26 years of automotive experience, we are the Auto Authorities. This podcast is sponsored by iAutoAgent.com. We're real estate agents for cars.
Booyah. Welcome back to the Auto Authorities podcast. I am Jay. This is Gerald coming to you live. We have an amazing show. We're going to be talking about how to find the best deals on new and used vehicles and what's really happening in this market. Is it going up? Is it going down? Is it better to buy used? Better to buy new? We are going to cover all of that. But before we cover that, I want to thank our sponsors, iAutoAgent.com. At iAutoAgent, they have two different divisions. They have the individual division and they have the fleet division. And in the individual division, they will help you buy a car nationwide, get you anything you want, whether it's new, pre-owned. You never have to step foot in the dealer till you approve the deal, and they handle all the communications with the dealer. They will also help you sell the vehicle like a real estate agent for a car. They market, they list, and they show your vehicle at no cost to you, and even meet those strange people that you don't want to meet. And of course, there's the fleet division where we help businesses that have fleets of vehicles stay focused on revenue generating activities, whether it be buying, selling the fleets for optimal times to sell and buy, but also for maximum return on investment and just handling those tedious tasks like maintenance and things like that. And then we have wrestling with sales. Gerald, tell us about wrestling with sales.
Yeah, hey, we got some really good information on there, a lot of fun interviews. We're doing a lot of interviews with successful professional wrestlers talking about what they do to get to the position they're in. And you can really actually take a lot from it, just the amount of work they have to do. And it's characters that you can relate to, that people that you like watching on TV. So some fun stuff. We actually talked with Leland Race. He is Handsome Harley Race's son. He runs World League Wrestling out of Eldon, Missouri, and Troy, Missouri. They're on nationally. They go all around the country. And he also runs the Harley Race Academy. So he's talking about dealing with legacy, living in his dad's shadows, and continuing to build that company up on his own, including to the point when he started training, he moved across the country and did it under a fake name. So nobody knew he was the son of a former WWE and NWA champion. He had to make it on his own and earn it on his own. The only people who know who he was were his head trainer and the person that he got his apartment from. So pretty interesting story. That's going to be up on Wrestling with Sales coming up this week. And you can also see it on the Fired Up Network, 24-hour sports network. You can find it online, and it's on a bunch of streaming platforms as well.
Very, very cool. Amazing stuff, Gerald. And for those of you just joining us, we go live Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Facebook group page, The Auto Authorities. Also on LinkedIn, we go live. But we're also on an amazing YouTube page called The Auto Authorities. Surprise, surprise. But you can literally watch all of our episodes. We're getting 30 to 50,000 views, and it is increasing every single week. And you can also go to theautoauthorities.com. You can see all the 19 different channels we're on, like Pandora, iTunes, Google Podcasts, all the above. But as we talk today, this is what I ask of you, to leave your comments below. Leave your comments below. Let us know what's going on. Maybe you agree with, maybe you don't agree, but we want to really add that value to you because we're going to get right into this, aren't we, Gerald?
Mm-hmm.
What is going on with the roller coaster? And I call it the roller coaster. Let's start with used vehicles out there right now. This is nuts, isn't it?
It is, because what you saw the last couple of years, your pre-owned car was actually appreciating. Can you remember that ever happening? No, it just didn't.
Well,
But yeah, they've actually been going up in value. Well, that's kind of stopped because new car inventories are starting to tick up a little bit. There's a few more new cars out there. It's not quite the shortage that it was. Here's a recent status of the market from Cox Automotive.
mhm.
They're a big automotive company. They own VIN Solutions, which is one of the CRMs that dealerships use. They own Manheim Auto, the big auto auction. They own Kelley Blue Book. So they're definitely got their fingers on the pulse of the auto market.
Mhm.
The current supply of new vehicles on the ground at the end of May went to 1.96 million. Now, keep in mind that a couple of years ago, during the height and the peak of COVID, there was virtually nothing on the ground available.
Mhm.
Average listing price, after rising every month, basically like clockwork from 2018, has dropped a little bit. We were knocking on the door of 50,000. Hasn't dropped much, but it went down to 47.1 and has continued to drop. This is just a little backwards looking on the numbers. And of course, the more inventory you have, the more incentives. You're starting to see incentives again, especially at domestic dealerships, at Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, at Ford, at the GM dealers. So you're seeing that tick down a little bit. Now that means that all the used cars that dealerships are saying, hey, sell us your car. We'll buy anything. We'll buy yours even if you don't buy ours. We want it. Okay. But you bought it at the inflated value
Mhm.
a year ago or from 5 months ago or 6 months ago. And now new cars are coming up, new incentives are going up. That means used values go down. It's just not dropping as fast as you would think it would, really, probably because the dealerships bought them and they don't really feel like taking a $2,000-$3,000 hit per car.
Yep.
Being used kind of stagnate and new picking up a little bit. It's been really unusual because this should be the peak time for used car sales.
So let's talk about that one company that starts with a C, ends with an A, called Carvana, that's owned by a convicted ex-con. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that company that has really pretty commercials, but yet the freaking pieces of shit behind this company, um, they are lowballing people. We did some tests on some of the cars that were at iAuto Agent, and we're seeing like what the Carvana people are offering. That they're offering thousands less than we're giving people for their vehicles, and
Hmm.
they're lowballing people. CarMax is doing the same
Yes,
thing.
CarMax came right out and said we want to lower our average
Yep,
inventory price.
yep, they are. And so these are golden nuggets too, because oh my god, Carvana's giving so much money. Yeah, well, guess what? They're not.
Not right
And
now, no.
they're putting all that money that they would have given you for your car to freaking produce these crappy commercials that irritate me to death. And pretty much we want them gone. And, Gerald, we both have a lot of integrity. I mean, the I in iAuto Agent stands for integrity. I can't stand companies like this that come in and they're like they try to make a quick buck and then they get out. And
Well,
they suck.
I think Carvana is going to be around for a while
You think?
because, yeah, at a certain point, it looked like they may be not making it, and they were going to collapse as soon as the used car values drop. But let's check right now. Their stock
It's like
at
40
one
bucks.
point had totally tanked, and as of right now, it's at $41.05. It ended the last trading day up $3.45. So I guess it's all a matter of perspective. Are they Are they lowballing people, or are they right sizing and right valuing their inventory for the coming season?
Probably a little bit of both.
Yeah.
I
So
would say,
they've circled the wagons. They had a massive cost cutting, and according to Wall Street, which granted, Wall Street's not necessarily reality, but Wall Street's feeling a lot better about them.
well, I always believe in this thing called karma, and I think probably our listeners do too. When you defraud people and you do underhanded shit, you're gonna get your present. That's what I say. But anyway, enough about them. What do you think about what do you think's going to happen in used cars coming like throughout the rest of the year?
Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of those trade bids. Well, one, the trade bids appreciating on cars, that's done. I don't see that moving forward because you got to look and think, man, there's lots of dealerships that stocked up and are sitting on 300 cars per dealership.
Hmm.
And those cars are now out of value to the book by thousands, in
I
some
want
cases tens of thousands. And just to explain that, book value is what banks loan on the car. JD Power is the main book. It used to be called NADA, National Auto Dealer Association. Now it's JD Power. And banks will loan up to about 120% of clean trade-in value. So if you go to a dealership and somebody tells you, hey, look, I'm giving you clean trade, that means they're giving you the basis of loan value. So that's a good bid. Now, the numbers that you were saying that Carvana's doing, they're probably going a little bit back of rough trade value.
hmm
Yeah, because they want to own the car, reconditioned, ready to sell at clean value. Because what you're going to see is dealerships are going to have to find something to eat the equity difference from what people are trying to trade now versus what they owe. Because obviously, people who bought cars 2018, 2019, 2020, 21, they owe a lot because they paid all the money. So you're not going to have people scooping a lot of trade equity into their new deals. So I think that's going to have a real chilling effect on used car sales because you're going to drive down the amount that you'll bid on a trade.
Yep. And I'll tell you a story. So we had a lady come to us. She was working with one of our agents at iAuto Agent, and she had a 2023 Mercedes SUV, and she paid $77,000 for this car, and she decided that it was like possessed or something. She said,
Uh-huh.
like, it didn't do anything. It was crazy. I asked the agent, and I said, why is she selling it? She thinks it's like possessed, or it's bad luck to have the car. It's
Sure.
just some spirit told her this. I'm not kidding. Couldn't make up a better story. And she wanted mid 70s for the car still.
Uh-huh.
So we were just actually going to dealerships, and we looked at good old Carvana. They're at 63, 62.
Surprised it's that high.
Yeah. We were going to be more than that, but she wanted mid 70s. So here's the moral of the story, everybody that's listening. If you are looking to sell your vehicle, you should sell it now, because you are going to get top dollar. If you're looking to sell it in the next 6 to 12 months, sell it now.
Sure.
If you're going to hold on to your vehicle for 10 years, it doesn't really matter. But all these people that are trying to time the market right now, you better darn well sell your vehicle, because the market is on the way down. And if you're selling, take advantage of selling it for top dollar now. If you're buying, we're getting people really good deals through our vehicle finder program, like really good deals.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, dealerships, the same logic that goes into a new car that you want to sell it within 90 days because you want to get rid of it while the
Mm-hmm.
manufacturer is helping you pay the interest on the floor plan. Well, I think the days of, here's another industry term that's going to come back, the days of the hard turn used car inventory are getting ready to come back. all that means is most of your big dealership groups operated under a 90-day hard turn policy on used cars. That means from the day you trade for the car until 90 days of it being in your inventory, it needs to be gone. If you can't sell it within 90 days, it goes to the auction and you wholesale it and take whatever you get.
Yeah.
So it gives dealerships a huge incentive to get that car out of there, especially once it gets to about 70 days old. So if you are looking at a used car and you go to Auto Trader or you go to cars.com, you can see the day that vehicle was listed. If it's over 60 days, there's nothing wrong with you calling up the dealership and saying, hey, I know you should be ready to make a deal on this. I'm prepared to do this.
Yep.
And just be upfront and straightforward with it because it's true. And even if the dealership isn't on a hard turn, they should be, because the books are dropping the books that you loaned the car on. Is the car losing value sitting there? Probably not, because most dealerships pay cash for them. But the value is only worth what you can sell it for. And virtually every car's financed now. And if the bank is only going to give you 120% of clean trade value, well, if that's dropped $3,000, the car's lost $3,000 of value, right?
Yeah.
So you
And
want to get it gone.
those are good points. And as we promised our listening audience, we are going to let you know where you can get deals. And I'm going to give you an example here in a second. I will say one of them is going to be anywhere Jeep, Chrysler, Ram. We talked a little bit about this in the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
What's the day supply is 135 days?
Over 135 days supply.
So basically what that means is 135 days to supply means they have a crap load of vehicles and they're not turning very fast. It's just like home sales. Obviously, you want that number to be as low as possible if you're selling them. Obviously, if you're buying and you see the supply goes down, and that doesn't benefit you very much. But I'll tell you a story. So this is manufacturer number one is Jeep, Chrysler, Ram. So with our vehicle finder program, we help do the new and the pre-owned vehicles, but I've been a very big proponent of leases for a long, long time, and I changed my tune recently. However, I might be going back to what I said before, and I'll tell you why. Because we just got a company vehicle for iAuto Agent, a Jeep Compass, and we were able to go sub $400 a month for a 4-wheel drive SUV with nothing down, all taxes included, for only 25 months. That's unheard of. And we can get those deals for clients. Call us at iAuto Agent and let us know what you're looking for, because we have the connections. And I'm not saying that everybody's going to get that deal, because you're not going to get that deal if you go in there necessarily. But if you get professionals in your corner like us that are contacting them on your behalf, you're going to get that deal.
That's great.
And
heck, it's hard to get a $400 used car.
Yeah, they need to sell right now too. So give us a call at iAutoagent.com. What do you think? What are the other ones that you would recommend, Gerald, for our listening audience?
Anything Nissan. Nissan dealerships. If you drive by some dealerships, and you can see Ford dealerships, they're going to have some base escapes. There's plenty of SE front wheel drive escapes out there. They're going to have some base F-150s. Chevy dealerships are still really pretty thin. They'll have some Silverados, Blazers, Trailblazers, Equinoxes, very hard to find. Traverses, very hard to find. But you can get a truck. Nissan, you can get pretty much whatever you want. Mitsubishi, get whatever you want. And a moment of silence for the Mitsubishi Mirage. It's gone after this coming model year. That means no more new cars available for $20,000. The Mirage is the last one, and it's going away, which is going to create a hole, and that builds into that average transaction price getting closer and closer to 50,000. But yeah, if you go to a Nissan dealership, you go to a Mitsubishi dealership, they have cars available and they haven't been selling and they have incentives. So if you just want a car and you want a low payment, those are the places to go.
I can tell you where not to go. Don't go to Toyota or Honda.
Almost no day supply. Most cars are advanced purchase, and you're paying at or over MSRP depending on the model.
Wow. That's pretty crazy. We'd love to hear your comments. Are you finding good deals out there? What are you finding? Because I know that our listening audience right now is looking for cars, or they're looking to sell their car. What are you seeing out there? What are the questions you have? Like, what are those burning questions? Leave them in our comments, whether you're on our YouTube page, the Auto Authorities, whether you're on the Facebook page, whether you just go to our website, theautoauthorities.com, and leave us a comment. But really, we've talked about a lot of things. So the golden nuggets for those of you that stayed to the end: Jeep, Chrysler, Ram, and Nissan. Those are where you're going to get potentially some good deals. And we can go more into leases and stuff and whatnot, but I'm really liking this. I'm liking what I see out there right now. It's finally starting to come back a little bit closer to normal.
Yeah,
Obviously, if you're looking for like Toyotas and Hondas and brand new, well, you might magically find one on a lot one day, but you probably won't, and you're gonna get like what they send in. But that's about all we have for today. Gerald, do you have any final thoughts?
Yeah, just one thing. Be careful. If you're looking for that $5,000 used car, you're on the Facebook marketplace and you're thinking, man, I got $5,000. I can get a nice car for this. This is actually a used car that was listed on the Facebook marketplace. Somebody went to buy this car for $5,000. That's kind of what you're finding. It's the $200-300 cars that are traded into the dealerships on death's doorstep. They take them and sell them at the local auto auction, and then they reappear on Facebook Marketplace for $5,000. And I can tell you that car, that Mercury Mountaineer there, that is every bit of a $200 car. So if you're buying the car on Facebook, be really, really careful because you may get that one.
And we're going to do a full episode on how to spot a scam on Facebook very, very soon. Everybody have a great rest of your week, and we will see you next week. Peace.